Yo guys, welcome to Ashton Fitness. Today I'm going to show you 9 calisthenics exercises that look easy but are hard. These are exercises that beginner and intermediate calisthenics athletes alike will find challenging. So if you want to push your body in ways that will help you learn calisthenics skills faster, then make sure to add these exercises to your workouts. Many of the exercises in this video are beneficial because they strengthen muscles that most calisthenics athletes tend to neglect. By strengthening these weak areas, you'll be able to make quicker progress with your calisthenics training and learn the skills you've been dreaming of. The first exercise in this list of 9 calisthenics exercises is the seated pike leg lift. This exercise looks easy but requires a lot of core and hip flexor strength to pull off. This is a great exercise to do if you want to learn the L-sit or V-sit because it strengthens the specific muscles involved in holding these skills. It will also help to improve your hanging leg raises and toe to bar raises because they too require good core and hip flexor strength. The seated pike leg lift can be made easier or harder depending on where you place your hands. The closer you move your hands towards your hips, the easier the movement will be. Conversely, the further you move your hands away from your hips, the harder the movement will be. Experiment with your hand positioning to find which is the most appropriate for your current skill level. The second exercise is the planche lean. Although the planche lean is perhaps the most basic planche progression, it still requires a lot of shoulder and scapular strength to achieve. Whereas a basic plank only places a moderate amount of tension on your shoulders, the planche lean increases the amount of tension you place on your shoulders as you lean forward. What's more, to perform a successful planche lean, you also must protract your scapula. Just this simple action alone transforms this easy looking exercise into a challenging one, especially if you've never directly trained your scapula before. It also makes the planche lean challenging because it forces you to coordinate the action of leaning forward with the action of protracting your scapula. This act of coordination can be difficult when you first start because it takes a lot of concentration, strength, and mental awareness to coordinate leaning forward with protracting the scapula. However, once you can do this, you'll be one step closer to learning the full planche. The third exercise is the floor tricep extension on the knees. Even though this is an easier variation of the full tricep extension, it's still a difficult movement for beginners because it isolates the triceps. The range of motion may be small, but this exercise is a real tricep burner if done correctly, and is a great way to build the tricep muscles. Remember to keep your elbows parallel throughout the entire movement to ensure the tension stays on your triceps. The fourth exercise is the scapular pull-up. Again, the small range of motion needed to perform the scapular pull-up may make it seem like an easy exercise, but it's harder than it looks. This is because it helps to train the muscles that help to stabilize the scapula. These are muscles that most calisthenics athletes overlook, so even if you're an intermediate level calisthenics athlete, you may find scapular raises difficult if you've never directly trained your scapula. My suggestion is that if you're not already training your scapula, then start doing so now. Not only will a stronger scapula make it easier to perform more advanced calisthenics skills like the front lever and planche, but strengthening your scapula will also prevent shoulder and rotator cuff injuries. Continuing the theme of scapular exercises, we have scapular push-ups. Scapular push-ups are another great way to train the muscles around the scapula, and they can be surprisingly challenging for beginners. It's important to add scapular push-ups into your training because having good scapular strength is necessary for many calisthenics exercises. For example, as you've already seen, the very first planche progression, the planche lean, requires you to protract your scapula. This means that if you want to learn the planche, you have to strengthen your scapula. Also, if you've got a shoulder injury, this is a great exercise to begin your journey to recovery because it helps to strengthen both the scapula and the shoulders in preparation for harder exercises later on down the line. It really is a great all-rounder, so if you haven't already, incorporate scapular push-ups into your calisthenics routine straight away. The sixth exercise in the list is the shrimp squat. The goal with this exercise is to squat down and touch the ground with the knee of the leg that is being held in your hand. It sounds easy in theory, but in practice it's pretty difficult. To be honest though, I think this exercise is useless. I've never consistently used it and I don't know anyone who has, and I think it places too much tension on your knee joint in the wrong way. I don't recommend this exercise at all, but I included it because, as the title states, it's an exercise that looks easy but is hard. Moving on, we have the crab walk. If you're new to calisthenics, the crab walk can be a challenging exercise by itself. This is because it keeps your legs under constant tension for prolonged periods of time. Even if you're an intermediate level calisthenics athlete, crab walks can be challenging if they're superset with another exercise. The same goes for squat pulses, the 8th exercise on our list. Beginners may find squat pulses challenging by themselves, and intermediate level calisthenics athletes will find them challenging if incorporated into a superset. Squat pulses and crab walks are a great way to feel the burn in your legs, so consider incorporating these into your workout routine for a sick leg pump. The last exercise is the straddled plank leg lift. Again, this exercise looks simple, but lifting one leg off the floor places a lot more tension on your shoulders than if you were just to hold a normal plank. If you protract your scapula whilst doing straddled plank leg lifts, you can also train your scapula. This makes the exercise harder but more beneficial because it strengthens the scapula in preparation for harder exercises like the planche lean and the planche. Thank you for watching, guys. If you found the video helpful, then let me know in the comments below, and if you think your friends would find the video useful, then make sure to pass it on to them. This has been Ashton with Ashton Fitness. Now go practice those exercises.